In Africa, only 9% of the population ever reaches college, and the odds of escaping poverty can seem insurmountable.
Basically, you're just fighting to survive, and that's all. That is first priority.
Here in Uganda, things are difficult.
College is really expensive here. The job market is really bad.
Going to ask for a job empty-handed, it's hard.
But a revolution is quietly unfolding across the continent.
There's no way you can join this program and you remain the same. It's impossible. It's impossible.
BYU-Pathway Worldwide is giving tens of thousands of Africans the chance to defy the odds by providing high-quality, low-cost, spiritually based education online.
So students really value what they have here. They know what they've got.
They know what they have got.
I believe this is a blessing from God.
We felt like a miracle had come.
If you get an opportunity to get an education and study, you have that hope.
BYU Pathway is not only changing individual lives, but empowering an entire generation to build a brighter future.
The Lord is using Pathway to bless us, all the students in Africa.
Hundreds of thousands of people across Africa live in tight, crowded spaces where poverty runs deep. Many families survive on less than $2 a day, enduring malnutrition and preventable disease, with little access to education or health care. In the heart of Nairobi lives Elizabeth Wobamba, a determined mother of two doing everything she can to keep her family afloat. Her home is a 10 by 10 foot room with no running water, no indoor plumbing. Every day she fills large jugs with water so she and her children can drink, cook, and bathe. She works 75 hours a week, barely making enough to feed her kids. And yet, Elizabeth is a student. She recently enrolled in BYU Pathway, a groundbreaking online program designed to help people like her around the world earn a degree from an American university.
Pathway has given me hope. It has given me confidence. And I know I'll get a good job.
It's hard to be a single mom. You're working, you're going to school, you're taking care of your kids. It's a lot.
Yeah. I have a few hours with them. So when I come in the evening, it's like a rush hour.
Elizabeth knows getting an education could transform her life. She sacrifices the little time she has left each day to study. It's that hope for a better future that keeps her moving forward.
I wake them at 6. So I dress them, wash their faces. Sometimes our work is very tiring. But when I remember my kids, they want to wear, they want to eat, their future, that gives me joy.
Do you ever feel like you want to give up?
It's overwhelming. It's all on me. In life, there is nothing comes easy. And trusting our Heavenly Father. You'll make it.
Your house is beautiful.
Thank you.
Because there's so much love here.
Everything comes after you have put God first.
As a new BYU Pathway student, Elizabeth has yet to see the benefits of getting her degree. But within just 1 year of being in the program, she'll be on track to double her earning potential. The first of its kind, BYU Pathway offers affordable, accessible 3-year bachelor's degrees online. As students progress through their education, they earn certificates in their area of study, which gives them the credentials to get a better job or a raise, even before they graduate. They don't have to wait to see the benefits of a university degree.
The purpose of the BYU Pathway is to bring Christ-centered education of high quality to people who thought they could never have access to an education. If I had to boil down the miracle of BYU Pathway into one word, it would be hope.
Since its inception in 2009, BYU-Pathway Worldwide has impacted the lives of over 250,000 students. It is a remarkably innovative and pioneering program that is reshaping education in Africa and around the world. These are the students of BYU Pathway. We're on our way now to tell the story of Grace. When we knew we were coming to Africa, it was Grace's story, the first story we knew we had to tell. She was forced into an abusive marriage and fled.
Wonderful to meet you in person.
It is.
Yes.
And the story of how she found the gospel and how she found Pathway is nothing short of a miracle. Oh, thank you for welcoming us into your home. Thank you.
So honored to have you in my humble home.
Ah, we are so honored to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us.
This is my
Hello.
daughter.
How are you? I'm Jane.
Give her a
Nice
hug.
to meet you. Oh, look at you.
Yeah, since I serve in primary, I have so much Jesus holding babies. So
You work in primary?
yeah, I'm a district primary president.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, that's my mom. She looks quite a bit like me. That's my dad.
This is your father.
Yes.
Oh, he was everything to you.
Yes, he was. He was. Yeah, when he died, everything just changed. He was the sole provider for the whole family.
And that was the beginning of a very difficult time in your life.
The worst period.
Grace lost everything when her father died. Her uncles took her small inheritance for themselves and forced her into an abusive marriage at the age of 18.
I felt like it was a punishment from God. It was the worst experience I could have ever imagined. He would lock me up most of the time. I never went to the shops. I never left the house. I never had any friends. My family, they never could come to visit. I'd be interrogated and beaten and boxed around. The hard time that I had was the psychological torture, emotional torture. Yeah, he would say so many hurtful words, like, you're not good enough, I'm just helping you to be with you. I could get another wife. And in the middle of the night, I left and yeah, we started a new life with my kids. Those 2 rooms, I used to stay in one of them with my 4 daughters, yeah.
This is a very small space
It
for
is.
5 people.
It is very small and it was leaking, as you can see there. It was much better than just having to stay wide awake and in fear in a toxic marriage. So this was just very good for me at that time. This is where we cook the meals from. We just get firewood like this from the forest and just make a fire over here. That's what we used for food every day, once a day if we were lucky.
So this is where you would go to forage for food?
Yes, the forest is just behind the house. This is called endagu in Luganda, this plant. So you just find the root of this plant and you'd peel it. It's like potato.
So you dig this up?
Yeah, we would dig it up. With all of these thorns and everything, you'd go back with your body just so sore. It would take me at least 2 hours to find food in here, enough to feed the 5 of us. But if I found just a small amount to feed the 4 girls, just so they could just have something in their stomachs, it'd be great. Sometimes I'd look for hours without even finding anything, so.
And that meant no dinner that night?
Yeah, no dinner.
Grace's struggle to find even 1 meal a day is a reality for many in Africa. Trapped in poverty with no clear path forward, she had no idea that BYU Pathway had arrived in Uganda just a year earlier. Shortly after leaving her husband, Grace met the missionaries of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It was an answer to her prayers, in more ways than one.
The missionaries found you soon after that.
They gave me a copy of the Book of Mormon, and in the night when everybody was sleeping, I just took the book and started to read it. And I told them, I believe it is true. It is a true book. And I want to be baptized into your church.
How did your life change after you had joined the church?
And I felt so loved. It's like I found these people just so amazing in my life, and they loved my kids. So the next Sunday I went there very willingly just to be with these people. And that's how I began to learn the gospel.
And how did you find Pathway?
There's a bishop that was taking this gathering class, and I was very curious. I said, hey, President, what are you doing? And he explained to me, this is BYU-Pathway, and I just loved it.
Robert Sakito was Grace's church leader in Masaka when she joined BYU-Pathway. Like most of his family and dozens of the church members he serves, he too is getting his degree through BYU-Pathway.
She enjoyed what was happening in the gathering and how people were contributing and growing together and enjoying the programs.
In addition to independent coursework, BYU-Pathway students join weekly online cohorts where they teach, learn, and support one another. It's an innovation in higher education that has led to unparalleled success in online schooling, and it has changed Grace's life.
She's smart, she's determined, she's deliberate, and resilient.
Is this where you study?
Yeah. That's where I do most of my Zoom meetings. It's not so big, but yeah.
And when do you usually study for Pathway?
I study in the morning and in the late night. Then during daytime, that's when I do my remote jobs, because I've been having 2 jobs. So I take 3 hours for one job and 8 hours for the rest of the job. And then I study in the night and very early in the morning.
Your girls are watching you work so hard. What do you think they're learning from you?
Oh, they're learning so much. Actually, they feel like it's a challenge. Sometimes they say, hey, we love what you're doing, but we feel like we can never do this. It's just too much. I wake up very early in the morning. They find me in the laptop when they're going to school. They go to school, some of them, and find me on the laptop still. And sometimes I cannot just cook for them or do anything, and I just invite somebody to do that.
This is a sacrifice that you're making for your family.
Yes, yes, it is.
Most of the students we met here in Africa would never be able to afford a college education without BYU Pathway. These are first-generation college students, Pathway pioneers, breaking a cycle of poverty and changing the course of their lives. Simply put, the promise of Pathway brings hope in a place where it's hard to find. We met Junior Kanyanya, a recently returned missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, whose story is one of sacrifice, determination, and resilience.
Everything started when I joined the church. My dad beat me. They stopped paying for me school fees while I was in high school.
So when you joined the church, your family cut you off?
Yeah. They chased me away from their home. I just come from the church and I found that at home everyone was just quiet. My stepmother stood up and said, take each and everything that belongs to you in this home and go out of this home. If you don't take anything that belongs to you, I'm gonna burn it.
Still, Junior decided to stay in the church. He eventually served a mission with no family or financial support. When you were about to come home from your mission, how worried were you?
I did not have family to welcome me. I did not have a home to stay.
For the majority of African missionaries, the transition home from their mission is a harsh reality. Like Junior, many leave the mission field where they never had to worry about their next meal, only to step back into a world of uncertainty, wondering how they'll get by. As president of the Uganda Kampala mission, Philip Mathamara is familiar with the signs of distress seen in many African missionaries.
In their last transfer, they begin to complain of sickness. Of course, at the end, we found out that it's psychological because they are thinking of the reality. It's dawning now that they are coming back home where everything is lacking, or might be there in limited quantities.
I've seen missionaries who came home, didn't know about Pathway or didn't get started in Pathway, and they go back to hustling on the street or subsistence living. We want missionaries to come right home from their missions and feel God in their life again, just like they did on their missions.
The distribution of capacity and capability is a normal distribution curve across all the earth. People in Kenya or in Nigeria are just as smart as people anyplace else and just as capable. Opportunity is not distributed equally across the world.
What was that like, having a companion who was going home to college, who was going home to parents, who was going home to a place to live, and you didn't have that?
When I could talk with my companion and he's telling me that he's gonna go to college, he's gonna get married, it was kind of hard for me when I'm thinking of my situation. And when they are asking me about what am I going to do, I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I could cry inside of my heart without showing them, because I'm a kind of person who does not want to show people that I'm suffering. While I'm praying during nights, I find myself crying. It was hard even getting food, 1 meal a day. Sometimes we don't find it.
David and Stacy Sturt were Junior's mission leaders in Nairobi.
He had had a manual labor job, and that's what he had done in his life. And the thought of his whole world that he came to know just vanishing, it was heart-wrenching, because he also, and we've had a couple of missionaries comment on this, I've never felt so much love in my life, and that's gone now. And I'm going home to just survive.
I told President that I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I'm putting everything in the Lord's hand, and President say everything gonna be okay.
He exhibited drive and leadership and all of these things that I don't think he knew he had in him before. I don't think he'd ever been in an environment where he could exercise that and discover this awareness of himself. Wow, I'm capable of this and I'm capable of that. And now what?
For return missionaries like Junior, who have no home to return to and no money to their name, BYU Pathway is their last hope. And it's only possible through scholarships. For African returned missionaries, BYU Pathway provides a tuition discount up to 75%. With extra scholarships available, a full bachelor's degree can cost as little as $200 to $300. But for those earning a few dollars a day, that's still a challenge.
They oftentimes spend more money on internet access than they do on their degree. But it makes it accessible to them, and that's the goal. We're the access provider within the church educational system.
We can deliver a credit hour for about $5 a credit.
And still, 74% of your BYU Pathway students have trouble finding two meals a day.
That's right.
This is grinding poverty at its very base level.
Pathway lifts people out of poverty. It is so amazing to watch, and it does it with tremendous sacrifice and hard work on the student. We're taking people who can't afford to feed their families. They are barely surviving. And we're seeing them get education, get an employable job, and eventually have a career where they're self-reliant and can serve and lead and build other people.
Bradley Okoth is a return missionary from Nairobi who lives with his mother Domatia and his 7-year-old nephew Moses, whom he's helping to raise.
When my dad died, life was not easy. We could not manage to get by even like 3 meals a day. For example, we just had to eat 2 meals a day, skip lunch. And it kind of affected us in some sort of way. Not being able to pay school fees was quite a challenge. Sometimes the education system here is very strict on that. If you miss out, you cannot have a second chance to continue.
Did you dream of going to college?
I dreamt of going to college. It was my mother's dream, and it was also my dream because nobody had the opportunity. I went to some college, studied for a while, but because she was also facing financial constraints, I had to come back. It was a depressing moment for me. Not being able to go to college was just heartbreaking for me. I felt nobody believed in me at that moment. Yeah, I felt like I've been abandoned or something.
So you came home from your mission, and what did you think you were going to do?
Actually, kind of depressing, because I was a returned missionary. I had nowhere to go, nothing to do. Yeah, it kind of hit you, and you kind of get to a depressing stage. The transition is not easy. It makes you think that God has abandoned you somehow. Or what did I go to do? Why did I serve a mission in the first place?
How is BYU Pathway a helpful transition to your missionaries who are worried about going home to nothing?
It's a great tool which they look forward to, because even midway through their mission 1 year, they ask, are we able to do Pathway? It shows that they are eager to improve their social status and also their academic.
Pathway came along just like a miracle. I was just scrolling through a computer one day and something came to mind. Why don't you go and just check out Pathway? Kind of try to learn what it's all about. And I had a prompting, why don't you just apply for it? When I got accepted, it was actually quite life-changing. That's when I felt like being a returned missionary doesn't have to be depressing, doesn't have to be hard. You can actually do studies and also learn how you can rely on the Lord at the same time. So following that prompting was actually the best decision of my life, because through Pathways, that's when I just started seeing growth in my life.
If you can come home from a mission and waiting for you is education, access to institute, peers who are working and growing in the gospel, and remote employment opportunities. Suddenly you take someone who worked so hard to get up to here, and then rather than having them drop and start over, we take them from where they were at the end of their mission and we just keep them moving forward.
So this is where you study?
Yeah, this is where I'm studying and doing my also scripture study and BYU. I wanted to be educated because no one in my family is educated. And I wanted to be educated so I can help other people. Education is a must. I won't give up, and I'm gonna prove wrong to people who think maybe I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna prove wrong to them in a good way by being educated, by getting my education done.
We tell them that when you go back home, you need education. Simply because with education, you can be trained, you can get skills, and you can interact and communicate.
It sounds like to me, you're saying that Pathway is transformative.
It is. It is a tool to transform.
Pathway is a critical part to the transition from a mission to a productive life in the gospel after a mission. Pathway isn't just a path to the gospel or a path to the career. It's a path out of poverty, and it's often a path out of cycles of addiction.
20 kilometers outside of Nairobi, one graduate, Angela Umbithi, felt the call to help those struggling with addiction by introducing them to BYU Pathway. She and her family founded Golden Steps, a rehabilitation program dedicated to helping others heal and rebuild their lives. Her brother Charles serves as a BYU Pathway service missionary, and together they are making a powerful impact.
You're a substance abuse recovery center here.
Yes.
Tell me about the problem with substance abuse.
It's so much in the young people, and it has become a serious issue. As I was thinking about starting the rehabilitation center, I also thought about, I've seen so many young people in church, and it's so worrying that they've gone to addiction of their substance abuses. And I felt I can bring them here, help them, and get their life back.
By combining the teachings of Jesus Christ with educational opportunities through BYU Pathway, Angela is guiding many toward hope, healing, and lasting change.
Angela's main idea was to rehabilitate people using religion. As you can see, we have 2 returned missionaries as the students, and one of them has relapsed like 6 times. But you can hear his testimony for what he's going through in this facility, and also the introduction he has in BYU Pathway. That is what other rehabilitation centers there don't offer, but Angela's Golden Steps facility offers.
It's such a great encouragement to me, knowing that this has come all through my efforts in Pathway. And I would love also to encourage others to go get the same skills that I have gotten in Pathway.
Of the students we have, we can count more than 10 students that she's introduced to the program.
10 students you've introduced to Pathway?
They call me Madam Pathway.
Madam Pathway?
Exactly. Almost every semester I have to bring 5 to 6 students.
New students to
Exactly, to Pathway.
So my work is easy as a mission.
Yeah.
While Angela is empowering individuals to break free from addiction and pursue education through BYU Pathway, she's working within a reality that is deeply challenging. In Africa, 74% of BYU Pathway students struggle to find even 2 meals a day, and 76% lack stable housing or reliable internet. So while BYU Pathway is breaking barriers, bringing education to those who could never afford traditional schooling, for many, even the minimal cost of access, tuition, internet, a quiet place to study, remains out of reach. That's where Be Selfless comes in.
So we've been on the road now, driving about 4 hours from Masaka to a town outside Kampala. We're going to a place called the Be Selfless Center. Be Selfless is a place where Pathway students come to access the internet. They stay for 2 or 3 days at a time, and it's really a lifeline for students who would otherwise not be able to complete their college assignments. The anonymous benefactor who is funding the Be Selfless Center, he was in his church meeting one day, and he heard a returned missionary speak from the pulpit about all these Pathway students who didn't have internet, didn't have the money to transport themselves to a place to get internet. And so he decided he was going to open a tech center to support these students. There are actually 3 Be Selfless tech centers in Uganda, but I wanted to come to this particular center because I wanted to meet a young woman named Janet.
My family, my grandparents, they were from Rwanda. I grew up with only one grandparent. Most of them died in the genocide. My mom died when I was 7. The underlying cause was HIV/AIDS, yeah.
You think about her often?
Yeah.
Even now?
Janet joined the church at 15. She served a mission in England and returned home to Uganda with high expectations from family and friends.
They thought maybe, she went to a great country, maybe she'll come back with lots of money. And when I came back, it was actually hard. They made fun of me because how do you go to such a good country and look at you, you're back, you have nothing. And it was actually very, very, very tough. And at some point I was like, I wish I didn't serve in England because people wouldn't have a lot of expectations from you.
When you came home from your mission, how did you find Pathway?
I remember sitting in the chapel, after sacrament, after church. We had President Gilbert telling us that we can actually study from BYU online. I just took it, and I just took on the opportunity.
The Lord's in charge of what's happening here, and it was the time He needed to come bless the entire church. The students in Africa, they're so faithful, they're so hopeful, they're so capable. They just needed the opportunity.
Returned missionary, former bishop, and BYU Pathway graduate Stephen Maraca runs the Be Selfless Center.
So this is like a little Pathway village in here.
Yeah, the objective of education is what brings us here, so that we can better our lives.
What year are you in the program?
This is my first year, juggling making ends meet financially, helping my son with school and my studies was difficult. It has taken some time, but it's worth the journey.
And if you didn't have this place and Pathway, where would you be?
We don't know.
Very hard for us to get education.
When this opportunity came, I embraced it. I just came. Yeah, so I'm very happy.
By next year, I'll be graduated. So I'll be having my bachelor.
And that'll be a happy day?
Yeah, it'll be the best day ever.
What are you working on?
Institute.
Institute. What is the retention rate for the students who come here?
97%.
Finish pathway.
Finish.
97%.
97%.
That's incredible.
The goal here is to help students complete their degrees through BYU Pathway. Students have access to computers 24 hours a day, 6 days a week, and they're almost always in use.
I would study in the night so that you sleep during the day. You take shifts.
So one's on the computer and one's asleep?
Yeah, when one wakes up, you go in and
you switch.
You switch, yeah.
Prior to Be Selfless, most of these students had to do all of their assignments on their phones.
What was it like doing college work on a cell phone?
It was hard and it was so long. Like an assignment, you would take 30 minutes on a computer. You would go on for the whole day.
Must be a huge relief.
Oh yeah, it is. It is a huge relief.
Students also get meals here.
So you're serving food 2-3 times a day?
Yeah, we give them breakfast, we give them lunch.
They receive a small stipend for travel and a safe place to stay while they complete their assignments.
So this is the girls' dorm. Oh, there's a baby in here.
Yeah.
How many single moms do you have in here?
We have around 10 single moms. Yeah, we encourage them to bring their kids. Sometimes our cultures here, when you get pregnant, they kick you out of the home. But the Prophet has also encouraged you to seek an education. And that's how you'll be able to take care of that baby. So when they come and get an education, we know that they will increase their chances of being successful in life.
This place is a refuge and a mechanism to make BYU Pathway dreams come true.
I dropped out, a couple of semesters because I could not afford. I could not afford to pay my tuition. And then comes Be Selfless, and I don't have to worry about tuition because I just have to worry about grades.
Like many of these students, every week Janet travels 4 hours by bus one way to get to the Be Selfless Center to do her assignments. This semester, she earned straight A's and new confidence about her future. She'll be the first college graduate in her family.
Pathway came at the time when I was really discouraged. And
did you know that that was the opportunity you needed, that you were waiting for?
I saw it as a heavenly sent opportunity.
Be Selfless centers support a mere 1% of BYU Pathway students in Africa. BYU Pathway is beginning to open global education centers similar to Be Selfless, and some chapels now offer internet access to students, but resources remain limited. In spite of these challenges, BYU Pathway is unlocking opportunities many students never dreamed possible. That's what's happening in a village outside Masaka, Uganda, for Faith and Vianney Senyanga. They have 3 children, 1 on the way, and 2 adopted orphans.
When I finished my project planning certificate, I looked in myself and I was like, I love baking.
Baking?
Yes, I love baking. I love baking.
In her second year of BYU Pathway, Faith launched her own cake business. She bakes cakes for birthdays and special occasions, more than doubling her income and allowing her to provide for her family. A key factor in her success was the guidance of service missionary Lori Cummings, whose mentorship proved invaluable throughout her education and the launch of her business.
She was the first person I spoke to. She called me before our gathering and we talked a lot, and she was a good, it gave me the impression that something that I'm entering into was really good.
Hello, how are you? Fine.
Good to see you, Sister Lori.
Lori Cummings is one of thousands of service missionaries who dedicate 5 to 10 hours a week, leading gatherings, offering support and guidance, and helping students with their coursework.
I always wanted to serve a mission, and I thought, why not now? It's something I could do from home.
What is your role as a BYU Pathway missionary?
I feel like our role is just to support the students to help them get used to doing online education. We do Zoom visits in their homes, and I see their homes. They train you to do a Zoom meeting if you've never done that before.
I'm not very good in math, but I was, it was not easy, but I
talk with them personally and ask them to share their life story. To me, that is the most difficult part of my job, is listening to them and their hardship, which makes me want all the more to give them all the love I can.
Faith and Lori remained close friends after their gatherings ended, and Lori continued to support Faith by helping her obtain an oven to grow her business. Before Faith had this little oven, she could only bake 1 cake a day over charcoal. Now she bakes 5 cakes a day. It's changed everything.
Faith, how is the bakery business?
The bakery business, it is going on so well. I have 5 to 6 orders a day. I just have one that is yet to be delivered. I'm waiting for someone is coming to pick it right here.
Oh, how beautiful. Oh, I love it. I am just so proud of you.
What's it like to have someone helping you, someone in your corner from halfway around the world?
It brings me to know that out there are so many people, good people, who wants us to succeed in everything that we do.
She's been so important. So important.
In my 60 years, I've never had service that I enjoyed as much as this. Most Pathway missionaries don't end at their 2-year assignment. Most of us extend and extend and extend.
So what would it mean for BYU-Pathway students in Africa if there were more service missionaries?
The need is so great. I've watched the program double and triple in the 4 years I've been in Pathway. Africa especially is exploding, but it's all over. We, right now, the last 1.5 years, have had to turn away students because we don't have enough missionaries to facilitate.
A lot of our students have a sacred relationship with the Pathway senior missionaries because they know I've got someone who believes in me. And the missionaries feel that. Oftentimes we just plead with individuals who have more time and ability to do this, to take on a cohort or two that they can work with and mentor. And we need more of them. And we talked about the growth of Pathway. It's just going to keep growing.
I don't know anything more rewarding. I've raised 5 children. I have 16 grandchildren. But this is really at the top of my joy in mortality, is to serve this way. And I hope I can do it until my dying day.
Another core principle of BYU Pathway is to develop disciples of Jesus Christ who will become leaders in their homes, churches, and communities. Service missionaries play a vital role in this effort, helping students recognize their divine potential as children of God.
Years back, I felt being abandoned. Pathway missionaries brought me to feel closer to Heavenly Father and to know that I am not alone in this journey, but instead there are so many wonderful people who are on my side to support me and to help me to become a better disciple of our Savior Jesus Christ.
For Faith, starting her own baking business transformed her family's future. Many BYU Pathway students see new career opportunities open up after earning their first certificate, before they even graduate. With a U.S. accredited degree and a foundation in online learning, BYU Pathway students are uniquely prepared for global job opportunities. Grace, for example, found a remote job through Bloom, a company that connects BYU Pathway students with online employment. The founders of Bloom recognized a gap. Students were earning certificates and degrees through BYU Pathway, but many still struggled to find work in local job markets. Bloom was created to meet that need.
Eric and I both served missions in developing countries, both in Latin America, and we became really passionate about creating opportunities like we have here in the U.S., where they can get home from missions and basically have this path to self-reliance. Yeah, this is me and my friend Cesar, Elder Pequeño. Cesar and I have stayed in touch over the years. We were best friends in mission, and we were on totally equal grounds, but I go home and I'm at BYU playing tennis and having all my stuff paid for, and he's back in kind of Lima just trying to survive day to day.
We're the same in God's eyes, and it was just this, couldn't shake it out of my mind of, but why do I have all these opportunities, and the people we came to know and love on our missions have a different experience. And in 2020, when everyone shifted to remote work, is kind of the light bulb moment of, man, if we can help people from our missions break into online careers, remote jobs, they can overcome some of the local challenges in the local economy, local job market. Bloom helps American companies here in the US find a better way to work with overseas teams. If they want to, find a more cost-effective hiring solution or save money, we've got these people that have a US education, BYU-Pathway, and they're anxious and hungry and willing to work. The other thing is just like they have this light of Christ.
By connecting students with job opportunities as early as their first certificate, Bloom helps them earn while they learn, increasing their chances of finishing their degree. Gennaro Mogire is a return missionary and BYU-Pathway student living with his uncle and aunt, Peter and Pauline Ondigo, also BYU-Pathway students. Gennaro secured a job at Bloom that now covers his tuition, making what once seemed impossible a reality.
Even if we say Pathway is cheap, BYU is cheap, there is that small amount that you still will need to contribute. So that means of contributing that money, I came from Bloom. Yes, it helped me pay for my tuition.
I mean, you think about someone like Gennaro, where would he be if it wasn't for Bloom?
That's the question that's not fun to answer, but it's the reality for a lot of Pathway students still around the world, is he'd be struggling to make ends meet. Hop on a job here, hop on a job there. Most of them are surviving through the informal economy.
How much were you making before Bloom, and how much did you make after Bloom?
Before Bloom, nothing. After now, I started working at Bloom. In a month, I think I would earn double as much as I would have earned if I had a local job.
Gennaro's uncle Peter is a BYU-Pathway pioneer and one of the first students in Kenya. He grew up selling vegetables on the streets of Nairobi. Because of BYU-Pathway, he now has a well-paying job and a home. He is an example to the rest of his family of the power of education.
How have you seen Bloom impact your nephew?
I can say his discipline has increased.
He has stuck to the course, and he's doing it very well.
Work is a principle of heaven. There's no easy work, and I find satisfaction in doing something, however hard it is. You do, and you never give up.
You must want to be like him.
If possible, better than.
Okay, Peter, the challenge is on.
Yeah, I would love him to be better than myself.
With Bloom today, the goal is to help return missionaries all around the world, know that they have a path to self-reliance if they're educated, if they're willing to work hard through an online job. If you have a business, if you know a business owner, if you work in a company and you need to hire, consider hiring these BYU-Pathway students and giving them a shot to wow you and impress you.
You can literally interview them and see for yourselves, but when people interview, they usually hire them.
In addition to Bloom, BYU-Pathway is continually expanding its network of mission-aligned employers, companies who've already provided more than 9,000 jobs to students around the world. For many of these students, especially those in underserved areas, this remote work is transformational.
We looked in Africa at students who quit. They aren't quitting because they're struggling academically. They have high grades. They're quitting because they're starving. They're quitting because they have to provide for their families. We don't have enough remote jobs for everyone right now. There's just this ongoing race between finding enough employment opportunities to keep up with an ever-increasing enrollment. We need to find employment partners who understand how special, how well prepared these students are, and are willing to find opportunities that these students can have all around the world. We're going to give you amazing, qualified, capable students who are ethical and responsible and show up on time and will be loyal to you.
For Grace, her job at Bloom was a springboard for other, more lucrative employment at an American venture capital firm. Matt Downs is her boss.
Good morning, Matt.
How are things?
Yesterday, we were looking at the valuation methods that we have to use, and we were going through all of that. So I have had so many remote job opportunities, and I felt overwhelmed by how much impact the certificate can have.
And I think that's one of the things, again, that you're really good at is just helping others get better because of your willingness to just jump in and get the work done.
Thank you so much for believing in me.
We're a team, Grace.
Yeah.
We're a team.
Before she joined Pathway, she was just working in the hotel, and she was earning $100 a month. But after joining Pathway, I think she's earning almost beyond $1,000 a month.
10 times.
10 times. And these things are like a miracle in her life. I view her as someone who is a builder of Zion. Her example is what we need in the community. Someone who can change many lives.
Our students are becoming self-reliant household providers. They will become the employers themselves. They will bring employment into their countries. They will become the leaders of organizations, but it's also enabling them to be able to serve and build the kingdom of God across the earth.
It's just a dream come true. I still don't believe my story myself when I speak. When I tell it to someone, I'm like, was it really true? But if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it. But it's true. The Lord was preparing me for so much more, because now I know that He knew me and He was there with me. If I could speak to the Grace back then and go back and speak to her, I'll tell her, be patient. The Lord will work it out.
Every one of the dozens of BYU Pathway students I interviewed here in Africa expressed overwhelming gratitude for this inspired program. They know this is their chance, the opportunity they prayed for, hoped for, and so their determination to succeed is profoundly moving.
You had every opportunity to stop, to give up, but you did not.
The Lord is using Pathway to bless us, all the students in Africa. So everything is just working out for us in Africa. It's just a revolution that's taking place, and I'm just so grateful for it.
A revolution?
Mm-hmm.
In what way?
It's going to be revolutionary because it's changing so much. Everywhere, there's no way you can join this program and you remain the same. It's impossible. It's impossible.
So today I'm walking commencement, and it's been a dream of mine since I began BYU Pathway. I just want to inspire my children and everyone else out there to have hope and know that they can do it. If I did it, an ordinary woman like me, they too can do it.
Pathway is just creating these opportunities for us in Uganda and in Africa. And I think it's just something that's gonna change our lives forever.
When I attend my degree, I'll probably be the first one in my family that has a degree. And this will set a pace for those that are behind me.
I'm thinking how lucky I am to maybe have had it at a certain time. It's such a blessing to me.
Your mom tells me that you have been telling her to go back to school.
So I told her, I see a lot of old people going, older than you.
Why not?
Why shouldn't you go? You can actually go and pursue that education and get what you actually desired all along.
He tells me there's no age in education. Then I started learning in BYU.
Before I joined Pathway, I knew Jesus Christ, but I didn't understand him. I didn't know that he could do the things that he does for us, that he loves me. My testimony of the Savior has strengthened so much because of Pathway.
I feel like I've come so far. I wouldn't say it's been easy. It's been tough, but at the same time, and I'm grateful for my Heavenly Father, and He's helped me every step of the way.
How do you feel about the new job you just got with Pathway?
I'm so excited. I could just see how the Lord has been doing His wonders on my life. That shows me that I still have a lot to do here on earth.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 4 brothers and 5 sisters.
4 brothers and 5 sisters, and everybody has done Pathway.
Exactly.
This has changed your whole family.
It has changed my whole family. We were also thinking of enrolling our dad. Our dad is a retired high school teacher, and he loves reading a lot. He's also interested.
How old is Dad?
Dad is 72 years. He's an old man, but he's good. Yeah.
He wants to do Pathway at 72.
Wants to do Pathway.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. I'm curious why you signed up for Pathway.
I wanted to learn.
You wanted to learn?
Yeah. I didn't complete my education. Since I was little, I wanted to learn. But because of finances, I dropped out.
How does it feel to be living the dream that you always had for yourself?
When other people are talking about studies, education, now I can talk. I'm not quiet anymore.
These are just a few of hundreds of inspiring stories, and in the coming decade, there will be thousands more. BYU-Pathway calls these students the hidden many, individuals with great need, yet who remain unseen. They are now emerging, and soon we will witness generational poverty being broken, doors of opportunity opening, and entire communities being transformed for the better around the world.